How many of you get on your cell phone while you're driving or even check it as you're going down the road? Well, for many of you, I can answer that question, and the answer is yes, because it has become such a common habit for us in our daily lives, and it's not something we think much of. The use of cell phones has increased dramatically over the years and has become one of the leading factors to accidents all over the world. I've had a cell phone since I was around 8 years old, and I still have one today like most people. And as a teenager, I know just how hard it is to resist picking up the phone while I'm driving because technology has made it so easy to do so. Today, I'm going to speak with you why cell phones have become a major role in accidents all over the world and how it should be taken more seriously than it is today. Many of you may think this issue isn't that serious, but today I'm here to discuss how crucial it is to stay off your cell phone while you're driving, and I hope I can persuade you to think differently. I will talk about the increasing amount of usage of texting and driving, the age group it's most commonly seen in, and the effects of texting and driving. I'll start off by talking about the amount of usage of texting and driving and also some statistics that relate to this issue. According to teensafe.com, texting while driving is more of a problem now than ever, as 69% of U.S. drivers between 18 to 64 admit to using their phone while driving this previous month. 69% is a large number, and for people that don't really take this seriously, this should be an eye-opener that it is more serious than you might think. Being on the phone increases your wreck by 23% because you're often not paying attention to the road and you're paying attention to the phone, which is really not safe. Before phones were a thing, the death rates were really low, and now that phones are more popular, the death rates have now nearly tripled. Over the years, I have seen a lot of people pick up the phone while they're driving and say things like, "Let me show you what I saw online earlier," or "Let me text the person back." And this is a pure example that people really don't take using the phone while driving as serious as they should, and this can be an issue in the long run and lead to lots of accidents. And growing up, I've always had someone speak volume to me about not using my phone while I'm driving and the issues that it can cause, and that person would be my dad because he is a police officer. My dad has told me countless stories of accidents that have happened because of texting and driving or distracted driving, and he's told me many horror stories that have really made me think about the effects that being on your phone can lead to. Many people have a mindset that being on their phone is not really an issue for them and that they won't get in a wreck or cause an accident, and these are really the people that end up causing accidents and getting in trouble. Now that I've shared you some real-life statistics and personal ideas, I'll now start by talking about the most common age group that these accidents occur in. While most people know that teens are prone to being on their phone and driving, adults actually do it too, but it's just more likely to see kids do it rather than adults. According to MarketWatch.com, texting while driving prevalence doubled between ages 15 and 16 and continued to increase substantially after 17. This shows that teens often get on their phone a lot, and texting and driving is very common in them, but it's also very common in teens who just get their license because they really just don't think about the consequences of texting and driving. New licensed kids, Edgar Sender says 21% of teen drivers involved in fatal accidents were distracted by their phones, and they are 4 times more likely to get in a crash on their phone because they aren't thinking about the road in front of them. They are more worried about checking their phone or their Snapchat and don't really pay attention to the effects that they can cause. NHTSA.gov says 68% of young drivers 18 to 20 are willing to answer the phone call on most driving trips and drive at a higher rate than older drivers. It's very common for people to answer their phone while driving, and people really don't think much of it, but it really is a serious issue and it shouldn't be practiced throughout the day. Everyone should leave their phone sitting on the console or somewhere where they're not touching it. Now that I've shared the most common age that this is seen in, I'll now talk about the effects that texting and driving can cause. Have you ever thought about getting in a wreck and the consequences that it can cause? Well, think about hitting a family and injuring them or even killing them. Is that something you really want to deal with the rest of your life? No. For most of you, you wouldn't want that. So think about that the next time you go to pick up your phone while you're driving. CDC.gov says each day in the United States, approximately 9 people are killed and 1,000 are injured from distracted driving. That's a large number that can be prevented if people just stay off their phone for the time being of them driving. You also can be fined. Aceable.com says in Mississippi, drivers can be fined up to $100 for using a phone while operating a vehicle. They did this to scare people, and they really don't implement it as much as they should. But if you follow directions and you don't get on your phone, you really don't have to worry about catching that fine. In conclusion, I hope I provided the necessary information to explain how dangerous getting on your phone while driving is and how you should think about the serious issues that this can cause. I explained to you the effects of texting and driving, the main age group this occurs in, and also some personal thoughts on this problem, as well as showed how many deaths there are from this issue. So I urge you to stay off your phone while driving and think about how many lives can be saved. So the next time you're driving and you go to pick up your phone, just think about the people around you and also yourself, how many lives you can save if you just stay off that phone.